Good morning, students.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay, so we are discussed about the question answers of electromagnetic induction. So we can continue with the assertion and reasoning problems of the same chapter, electromagnetic induction. I think in the last class we discussed the first two assertion and reasoning question, the remaining. So the next question assertion is this. A rod is rotated with a constant angular velocity in a uniform magnetic field B. The induced EMF in the rod varies linearly with a distance x from one end of the rod. A rod is rotated with a constant angular velocity in a uniform magnetic field B. The induced EMF in the rod varies linearly with the distance x from one end of the rod. What do you think? This assertion is correct or incorrect? A rod is rotated with a constant angular velocity in a uniform magnetic field B. The induced EMF in the rod varies linearly with a distance x from one end of the rod. Is it correct or incorrect? True or false? Just correlate this assertion with that of the motional EMF. A rod is rotated with a constant angular velocity in a uniform magnetic field B. Then the induced EMF in the rod varies linearly with a distance x from one end of the rod. No idea. Is it correct or incorrect?
True.
It's true. Then what about the reason? Because according to the motional EMF, we know that E is equal to BLV. Induced EMF is directly proportional to magnetic field. It is directly proportional to the distance, and it is also directly proportional to the velocity or the speed of the rod that is move inside this uniform magnetic field. So whenever a rod is rotated with a constant angular velocity in a uniform magnetic field B, the induced EMF in the rod varies linearly with the distance x from one end of the rod. So the assertion is true. What about the reason? Linear velocity is v is equal to omega s. You just imagine if v is equal to omega s, then the induced EMF E is equal to omega x square b. If v is equal to omega x, then induced EMF E is equal to omega x square b. Is it true or false? What about the, is it false? What about the equation for EMF, motional EMF? Motional EMF is equal to BLV. Okay, and here the V is given as omega S, omega X, where X is the distance or the length. So we can write E is equal to B into the length is nothing, it is the distance. In the previous case, they are take the distance X from one end of the road. So the distance L is nothing, it is X. Then here V is given, it is omega X. What about the induced EMF then? B X into omega X, that is equal to B X square omega, or we can write induced EMF is equal to omega X square B. Is it true or false?
True.
It's true. They are just given the value of velocity. Here the linear velocity V is equal to omega S. We need to substitute the value of V inside the general equation. That is motional EMF or induced EMF is equal to BLV, where B is the magnetic field, L is the distance, and here the distance is taken as X, and V is the linear velocity. And the linear velocity is given as V is equal to omega X. Therefore, induced EMF is equal to B into X into omega X. That is equal to omega X square B. So it is also true. So here the assertion is correct, reason is correct, and actually this equation is the correct explanation for the assertion. So we can say reason is the correct explanation for the assertion. Linear velocity V is equal to omega X. Here the induced EMF is directly proportional to that of the distance. Whenever the induced EMF is increases, what happens? It is the distance is also linearly varies with that of the induced EMF. According to the equation for motional EMF is equal to BLV. So we can say here the assertion is right, reason is also right, and we can say reason is the correct explanation for the assertion. So option A. Assertion right, and reason is the correct explanation for assertion. Now the next question. It is difficult to push a magnet into a loop having large number of turns. It is difficult to push a magnet into a loop having large number of turns. It is difficult to push a magnet into a loop having large number of turns. What do you think? Just imagine a solenoid like that. If you are inserting a magnet inside into this loop, consider if it is a solenoid, it is very difficult to push a bar magnet into a solenoid if it is possess a large number of turns. Is it correct or incorrect?
True.
It's true. Why? It's correct. Why?
Self-inductance increases.
Yes, whenever the number of turns increases, what happens? Self-inductance increases. Self-inductance increases means, or it produces a large number of EMF. We can also think like that. Whenever the number of turns increases, the EMF produced by the solenoid is also increases, because EMF is directly proportional to the square of the number of turns. So whenever the EMF is increases, actually it is opposes the relative motion of the bar magnet. Okay, it is opposes the relative motion of bar magnet. So if we are increasing the large number of turns, what happens as a result? EMF induced will be by the loop or the solenoid is further increases. As a result, it opposes the relative motion of the bar magnet. So it is very difficult to push a magnet into a loop having large number of turns, because EMF is directly proportional to that of the number of turns. EMF generated in a loop is directly proportional to the number of turns that is possessed by the loop. Whenever the number of turns increases, EMF is also increases. Actually, the EMF is opposes the relative motion of the bar magnet. According to Lenz's law, we know that the EMF induced in a current will try to opposes the flow of current through the circuits. That means it is opposes the relative motion of the magnet through that of the loop. So here the assertion is correct. It is difficult to push a magnet into a loop having a large number of turns. Whenever the number of turns increases, EMF increases, which opposes the relative motion of the bar magnet or any type of magnet. Normally, we are used to push the bar magnet inside a solenoid or a loop. Now the reason. More the number of turns in a loop, more are the eddy currents, and hence more is the resistance. But about the reason, is it true? Reason, more the number of turns in a loop, more are the eddy currents, and hence more is the resistance. Correct or incorrect?
Correct.
It is correct, because whenever the number of turns increases, large amount of eddy currents generated in the loop, and hence the resistance offered by the loop is large. It is also correct. Now think whether the reason is the correct explanation for the assertion or not.
Yes.
Yes, here the reason is the correct explanation for the assertion. Assertion is right, reason is right, and we can say reason is the correct explanation for assertion. Whenever the number of turns increases, large amount of EMF is generated. It will generate more amount of eddy currents, and hence it offers a higher resistance. Because of this higher resistance, what happens? It is difficult to push a magnet into a loop having a large number of turns. So here assertion is right, reason is right, and we can say reason is the correct explanation for the assertion. So option A. Now question number 5. Assertion, when a magnetic field is perpendicular to the plane of the loop, the magnetic flux linked with the loop is equal to 0. When a magnetic field is perpendicular to the plane of the loop, the magnetic flux linked with the loop is 0.
True.
It is true. What about others? What do you think? Gauri,
I think it's true now.
it's true. Then any others? Naurin,
False.
it is false. Okay, then Aditya,
True.
it is true. So I need the reason why you say it is true. Assertion is true. As Punya, why you say the assertion is true?
Cos 90 is 0.
Cos 90 is equal to 0. What about Gauri?
Same reason.
Okay, Aditya,
Ma'am, I also wrote the same reason.
same reason. So then who said it is false? Is it from where? Naurin? Any reason? Adul, what about your answer?
It's false.
It's false. Why?
If it's perpendicular to the plane, then it's passing through the loop, right?
Yes, then?
Then it can't be zero flux.
When a magnetic field is perpendicular to the plane of the loop, the magnetic flux linked with the loop is 0. Is it false, true or false? Gayatri? Yes.
Here it is perpendicular to the plane, right? Not to the loop.
Not to the loop. It is perpendicular to the plane. When the magnetic field is perpendicular to the plane of the loop, the magnetic flux linked with the loop is 0. Assertion is false. Here the magnetic field is perpendicular to the plane of the loop. It is not. Okay, when a magnetic field is perpendicular to the plane of the loop, the magnetic flux linked to the loop is equal to 0. It is false. Actually, there is some amount of magnetic flux is associated with that of the loop. Okay, because here the magnetic field is perpendicular to the plane of the loop. So actually it is a false statement. There is an amount of magnetic flux is associated with the loop. So actually here the assertion is false. Now what about the reason? Phi is equal to BA cos theta. Reason is true or false? Reason is true. This is the equation for calculating the magnetic flux. Phi is equal to BA cos theta. I will explain this in the next class with the exact reason. Okay. This assertion and reason question.
Ma'am,
Yes.
is it the correct reason?
No, I will check and inform. We'll check and inform. What about the correct reason for this assertion? So we can move to the next question. Assertion is this: Lenz's law is not in accordance with the law of conservation of energy. Lenz's law is not in accordance with the law of conservation of energy.
False.
It is false. Because we know that Lenz's law obeys the law of conservation of energy. Here the one energy is transferred to that of the another form. Mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy and all. But about reason, induced EMF opposes the cause of its production. Induced EMF opposes the cause of its production.
True.
It is true. An EMF is induced in a circuit is always try to opposes the current generated in the circuit according to our Lenz's law. So we can say induced EMF opposes the cause of its production. It is true.
Ma'am,
Yes.
cause of its production means?
Cause of its production means as a result of induced EMF, what will be generated in the circuit? An induced current is generated, right? Cause of its production means this induced EMF is the cause of induced current. And we know that according to Lenz's law, this induced EMF is always trying to opposes the growth of this current, growth of the induced current. Cause of its production means it is the growth of induced current. That's why according to electromagnetic induction, we put a negative sign there, E is equal to minus di by dt. This negative sign is mainly due to that of induced EMF is always try to opposes the relative growth of the current in the circuit. So induced EMF is opposes the cause of its production. Cause of its production means the growth of induced current. Now the seventh question. Assertion is this: EMF is induced when a coil is rotated in a magnetic field. EMF is induced when a coil is rotated in a magnetic field. It's a direct assertion and reason question. It is true. An EMF is induced in a circuit when a coil is rotated in a magnetic flux, whenever magnetic field. But what about the reason? EMF is induced when there is a rate of change of magnetic flux.
True.
Is also true. Then, what about the reason? Is the correct explanation for assertion or not?
Yes.
Yes. Here the reason is the correct explanation for the assertion, because we know that an EMF is induced in a circuit if and only of the magnetic flux associated with it is changes, and it is occurs whenever a coil is rotated inside a uniform magnetic field. So here assertion is true, reason is true, and the reason is the correct explanation for the assertion. I will check this fifth question. We'll check and inform what about the correct reason. Okay, actually I am also confused with this assertion and reason. Because whenever we think about the equation phi is equal to BA cos 90, cos 90 is equal to 0, then phi becomes equal to 0. I will check and inform about the fifth question in the next period. Okay. Now we have next session. Fourth one. A metallic rod of 1 meter length is rotated with a frequency of 50 RPS. What do you mean by RPS? RPS. Have you heard about this term RPS? The unit. RPS is revolution per second. Okay, it is the unit of frequency. 1 revolution per second is equal to, what is the SI unit of frequency? SI unit of frequency?
Hertz.
Hertz. So this revolution per second is equivalent to that of the hertz. It's another name that we are used instead of hertz. So 1 revolution per second is equal to 1 hertz. Okay. So a metallic rod of 1 meter length is rotated with a frequency of 50 RPS. 50 RPS means 50 hertz. With one end hinged at the center and the other end at the circumference of a circular metallic ring of radius 1 meter about an axis passing through the center and perpendicular to the plane of the ring. A constant uniform magnetic field of 1 Tesla parallel to the axis is present everywhere. What is the EMF between the center and the metallic ring? Read the question carefully and find out the equation to solve this in order to calculate the EMF. 1 RPS. RPS means revolution per second is equal to 1 hertz. One revolution per second. 1 RPS is equal to 1 hertz. A metallic rod of 1 meter length is rotated with a frequency of 50 hertz with one end hinged at the center and the other end at the circumference of a circular metallic ring of radius 1 meter about an axis passing through the center and perpendicular to the plane of the ring. A constant uniform magnetic field of 1 Tesla parallel to the axis is present everywhere. What is the EMF between the center and the metallic ring? How we can solve this problem? Here we want to calculate the EMF, induced EMF between the center and the metallic ring. Metallic ring. So which equation is used here in order to calculate the EMF? It is a circular metallic ring.
Rotational EMF.
Rotational EMF. What is the equation for calculating rotational EMF E? Half B omega R square. Half B omega R square. Okay, right. And what about the value of B? Magnetic field is given here in the question.
1 Tesla.
1 Tesla. 1 Tesla is the unit of magnetic field. What about omega? The value of omega, angular velocity, is not given. We can calculate omega by using another relation. What is that? Omega is equal to 2 pi f. This is the relation between angular frequency and that of the linear frequency. Omega is equal to 2 pi f. Then here radius is given. What about the radius R?
1 meter.
Radius R is equal to 1 meter. Okay, so you can substitute these values into the general equation. It becomes rotational EMF E is equal to half into 1 into 2 pi into omega is 2 pi f. F is the frequency. Frequency is nothing. It is 50 hertz. So 50 into R square. R is 1. So 1 square. So it becomes here these two are cancelled. So rotational EMF E is equal to 50 pi. That is equal to 50 into 3.14. Fifty into 3.14.
$157.
Yes, it is 157 SI unit volt. So which is the correct answer? 1.57, 15.7, 157.157. So option B is the right answer. So whether you are finding what type of material medium is given. If it is a circular ring, we can use the equation for calculating the rotational EMF. Rotational EMF is equal to half B omega R square. So first of all, you just identify what about the type of system that is given. So here it is a uniform circular ring, metallic ring. So we consider the equation for rotational EMF. If it is a straight rod, we need to consider the equation for linear velocity, that is B epsilon is equal to, or motional EMF E is equal to BLV. Since here it is a circular metallic ring, we use this equation E is equal to half B omega R square. Okay. Now the next question. A wheel with 10 metallic spokes, each 0.5 meter long, is rotated with a speed of 120 RPM. That is also revolution per minute in a plane normal to the horizontal component of the Earth's magnetic field, HE, at a place. If the magnetic field BH represents the magnetic field is 0.4 G at the place, what is the induced EMF between the axle and the rim of the wheel? Here the speed is given in revolution per minute. We need to convert it to revolution per second. Here the magnetic field is expressed in terms of 0.4 G. G is Gauss. Gauss is the CGS unit of magnetic field. So we need to convert this Gauss into Tesla and also the revolution per minute into revolution per second. What do you mean by spokes? The term associated with that of a bicycle wheel. It's a connection between bicycle hub and rim. So a wheel with 10 metallic spokes, each 0.5 meter long, is rotated with a speed of 120 revolution per minute in a plane normal to the horizontal component of the Earth's magnetic field at a place. If the horizontal component of the magnetic field BH is equal to 0.4 Gauss at the place, what is the induced EMF between the axle and the rim of the wheel? So here this turn can be taken as number of turns. Number of turns, N is equal to 10. And the length of each spoke is 0.5 meter. Length L is equal to 0.5 meter. It is rotated with a speed of 120 RPM. V is equal to 120 RPM. RPM means revolution per minute. We need to convert into revolution per second. So 120 divided by 60. That is equal to revolution per second. 2 revolution per second. 2 revolution per second is its frequency, hertz. Magnetic field BH. BH is equal to 0.4 Gauss. Gauss is the CGS unit of the magnetic field. We need to convert it into its Tesla. That is equal to 0.4 into 10 raised to minus 4 Tesla. So whether the unit is given in terms of revolution per minute, you need to convert into revolution per second by dividing it with 60. Similarly, if the magnetic field is expressed in terms of its CGS unit Gauss, convert it into its standard unit or SI unit Tesla by multiplying it with the 10 raised to minus 4. So what equation we can use here in order to find out the EMF? What is the induced EMF between the axle and the rim of the wheel? And here it is RPM, so not the velocity. What the RPM is indicates the frequency. Frequency F is equal to 120 RPM. That is 120 by 60, that is equal to 2 RPS. Then how we can calculate the induced EMF? Please keep in mind, this is a wheel of a bicycle. So how we can calculate the EMF in this case, EMF between axle and the rim of the wheel? Yes.
Now what did we do to 0.4 G?
0.4 into 10 raised to minus 4 Tesla. Divide it with the 10,000 or multiply it with the 10 raised to minus 4.
Okay.
Equation for calculating the induced EMF between the axle and that of the wheel, rim of the wheel.
Rotational EMF.
Here also we can use the equation for rotational EMF. So rotational EMF E is equal to half B omega R square. Rotational EMF is equal to half B omega R square. This is only for a one number of turn. But here we have how many number of turns are there? 10 number of turns are there. Okay. So this rotational EMF is equal to half B omega R square is the induced EMF for one number of turn. For n number of turns, the equation becomes E is equal to n into half B omega R square. That is E is equal to 10 into half into, here B is 0.4 into 10 raised to minus 4. And omega is not given, but they are given the value of frequency. Revolution per minute, we convert it into revolution per second by dividing it with 60. So 120 by 60 is equal to 2 RPS. So 2 pi into F. F is 2. And R square. What about the length? Each of the spoke of length 0.5. This length is considered as the radius. The connection between the hub and that of the rim of the cycle is known as spoke. This is what you mean by spoke. And the spoke of length 0.5 meter long. Each spoke is with the 0.5 meter long. So this 0.5 is nothing, it is the radius. We can do it here. Rotational EMF is equal to half B omega R square. Here we have n number of turns. So the equation becomes rotational EMF is equal to n times half B omega R square is equal to, here the number of turns, here we have 10 number of spokes are there. So it becomes 10 into half into B is 0.4 goes, we convert it into Tesla. So 0.4 into 10 raised to minus 4 Tesla. And here the omega, value of omega is not given. So we use the relation omega is equal to 2 pi f, 2 into pi into frequency is 2. It is given as 120 RPM, revolution per minute. We convert it into revolution per second, that is 2 RPS into R square, that is 0.5 the whole square. What about the final value? 10 into 0.4 into 10 raised to minus 4 into pi. Pi is 3.14 into 0.5 the whole square. Ten into 0.4 into 0.5 square. 0.5 square means 0.25. 0.25 into 0.4 is 0.1 into 0.3, 3.14 into 2 into 10 raised to minus 4. 3.14 into 10 is 31.4. 31.4 into 2. What about the final answer? Is it 6.28? 0.28 into 10 raised to minus 4 volt. 6.28 into 10 raised to minus 4 volt. Option C, 6.28 into 10 raised to minus 4 volt.